Welcome to Facets of Affinity, your one-stop destination for all things love, engagement and weddings, sprinkled with a generous dose of sparkle. I'm your host, Irene, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be your guide on this fabulous journey. Join us as we explore the art of popping the question, the joy of saying I do, and everything in between. Welcome to Facets of Affinity. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Facets of Affinity. Today we have our dear friend Donny Galella here.
Hello, how are you?
So good, thank you for joining us.
So good to see you, and we're matching.
Yeah, elephant in the room. This was completely unplanned,
Not planned,
but I don't know.
But I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take it as no, obviously.
I'm taking it as a compliment.
I follow Donny on social media, so I might be getting
on social media.
I might be getting some styling tips inadvertently. But no, thank you so much for being here
today. Thanks for having me.
So today I really wanted to spend some time talking to you about styling, but bridal party, bridal guest styling. Is that something that you do a bit of?
Absolutely. So I've been styling for about 15 years. And so the first 10 years I was very wedding heavy and sold many weddings. I still do.
Yeah.
And everything from the bride and groom, bridal parties, mother of the bride, mother of the groom. And I love it because you get to be part of such a special day.
Yeah. And do you feel like there was a lot more matchy 10, 15 years ago than there is now in bridal parties?
Definitely. So I said, if we look back 10 years, I think bridal parties were very much, bridesmaids all had that one same dress, groomsmen all had that one same suit. But fast forward to today, I think, and I do really love where it's going. I love that it's much more individual. You're actually thinking about all your bridesmaids and they've all got different body shapes.
Yeah.
I love when they've all got a different dress but in similar colour palettes. I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I love when groomsmen take it a step further too, and they might have a similar colour suit, but some might have single-breasted, some have double-breasted. One might have a tie, a bow tie.
Yeah.
So think about your bridal party and think about each person, how they can have their own individual flair, but still have a uniform look, but have individual flair. Because end of the day, our body shapes are so different and our styles are so different. So why slap that one outfit on your whole party and say, right, you all must just suck it up and wear it. Yeah. Let them have a bit of personal expression as well. I think it's really important.
Makes so much sense. And I think you're right. I think I find that I see a little bit more fun and individuality in bridesmaids, but maybe not so much in the guys. So that's a really good tip.
Absolutely. So, I think we pay a lot of attention on how to make all the girls look individual with different shapes, some with different necklines, different sleeves, different lengths. But also think about your boys, and boys have different shapes. Like some guys are tall, some guys are wide, some guys are really built. And that also lends to the different style suits that guys should wear. So, if guys are a bit bulkier, then you want a certain cut. If guys are very tall and lean, it's a different cut.
Sure.
Different neck thicknesses might be more of a tie versus a bow tie. So I think, definitely think about your boys and what they can wear in your bridal party as well. So, boys can have as much styling fun as the girls.
Absolutely, and they absolutely should. And as a guest to a wedding, do you do a little bit of styling of guests?
Yes, absolutely.
Have the rules gone out? Are the rules of you can't wear red, you can't wear white, you shouldn't wear black unless it's, stated to wear black. Do you feel like those rules are kind of gone now, or are we still following them?
Good question. I feel the only rule is the don't wear white. Don't want to take it away from the bride unless the bride specifies that you can wear white or white is the colour theme for the guests. Red, absolutely wear red. I love red. I think there's a shade of red for everybody. But if you're ever unsure about the dress code, just check with the bride and groom, see what they're comfortable with. And I actually know of a wedding recently where everyone was asked to upload their photos beforehand of what they were going to wear because they had like a tonal wedding.
Sure.
So they basically wanted this whole tonal theme. So guests sent a few photos of their options and the bride and groom helped them choose.
Wow.
And then they had this big group photo at the end, and which looked absolutely incredible because they had this beautiful tonal, like all different pastels all together. So I thought that was really interesting.
And were most of the men wearing suits?
Women's suits, but a combination of suits, shirts, separates.
How cool.
It was very, I never heard of that where people had to upload their outfits and the bride and groom helped them choose. So.
Yeah, and you'll have less of an issue of someone wearing the same dress as you.
No double ups.
Which is always your worst nightmare. I remember when I got married, my bridesmaid dresses were from Chic, which is probably where everyone's bridesmaid dresses were from 13 years ago.
really deliver.
But I was scared that someone would be wearing my bridesmaid dresses as a guest, because it was, I did have that thought. I thought, is someone going to be wearing my bridesmaid dress?
Bridesmaid dresses have come so far. Like a lot of top Australian brands now are doing just capsule collections for bridal wear. Like there's a label called Leo Lynn. They're about to just launch a collection just for bridesmaids.
Right.
I think Rachel Gilbert, Rebecca Valance, doing bridesmaid capsule collections. So bridesmaids, there's so many beautiful options out there.
Yeah.
But if we just go back to our point earlier, I really think, try either have a similar color palette where maybe you pick blue, but they all have a different shade of blue, or red, and they all have a different shade of red.
Yeah.
Or think of how you can have one color but all different styles. So think of their body shape.
Yes.
And I always say, okay, to each girl, what are your best assets? And then we go through them, and they're like, hey, if I like my neck, I like my shoulders. Well, I'm not going to put you in a high neck then, and put you off the shoulder, or strapless to show off the parts of your body that you love. And any parts that you may be not as confident with, if it's your tummy, whatever, then you find a dress that's going to address those issues. Because at the end of the day, when you step down that aisle, you want to feel confident and feel amazing. And that just comes down to choosing the right styles for you. And that's what fashion should do. It should make you feel confident. It should make you feel incredible.
Yes.
And I guess as a stylist, that's what I love doing, is I get to have that impact on people every day through their clothing. And when you get to do that for a wedding, it's even more special.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
And do you find you have moments with people who you're styling where you show them that they should be wearing something that they never would have thought of, and it's just this light bulb, wow, that actually works?
I think what happens is we're all programmed to just do what we know. So when you go shopping, you'll go to your local shopping centre, you go to the brands that you know, you go to the colours that you know, you go to the things that you love. For me, it's to take a step back and go, right, okay, so it's taking you out of your comfort zone. We're going to try new brands, new colours, new shapes. I look at your body and I say, okay, well, what are your best assets? Let's accentuate those. What parts are you not as confident with? Because I've got styling tricks to help with that.
Sure.
And once you interplay all of that and your proportions, all that, then we find you the perfect outfit.
Yeah.
And I just love showing people, different solutions that they may never
thought
of.
So.
Yeah,
in a nice way.
And exactly. But there's probably times where you've looked in the mirror and you went, oh, I look good today. And it's probably because you're subconsciously following these body shape principles that you didn't know. So I just like to kind of show what they are and how you can make the most of them and feel good every time you put clothes on.
Yeah, but that's why you're so clever and you're a stylist and we are not.
Thank you.
Did you always sort of want to be a stylist?
I think as a kid, asked my mum, I was always sketching, drawing. Recently I went back home to Wollongong and she bought out a box of sketches that I did since I was a little boy. I was making little tissue paper wedding dresses when I was little. And obviously I went to university, I got a degree in marketing, kept the parents happy. But I thought if I end up in fashion, having a degree in marketing was always going to help.
Absolutely.
And started working at a bank, and my parents were really happy. And they're like, yes, he's at a bank. But then I was like, Mum, Dad, I think I'm going to be a stylist. And they're like, what's that? And so I kind of set down that career path, and thankfully, things have gone well.
So
and
amazing.
Obviously very proud now, but I've always wanted to be in fashion. That's one thing I know definitely. And now that I'm here, I probably took a weird path because the catalyst was, I think I had a friend going to the races one day.
Okay.
And she said, I went to go buy a hat and they were so expensive. And I was like, really? So I went to Spotlight, whipped up a hat. She entered fashions on the field and she placed on stage, and all these women came over and said, like, have you got a business card? I'm like, yeah, there you go, making these cards on the spot. And as I made more hats, they started selling, and then I seeded a few hats with big celebrities at the time, like Jennifer Hawkins, Sonia Kruger.
Yep.
And then Maya called, and Maya like, can we stock your hats? And I'm like, am I being pranked?
Right, like where are the cameras?
Yeah, like where are the cameras? So I'm like, making these on my coffee table. I'm like, sure, how many do you want? And so they put an order in, so I'll stock that Maya. And I didn't believe it until I actually walked into a Maya store and saw them there.
That would have been such a pinch me moment.
It was so crazy. And at that time, Jen Hawkins was a face, so I've got to dress Jen Hawkins.
Yeah.
And then as I started dressing people with the hats, I was like, well, I love that hat, but wear that dress and wear that bag and wear that shoe and add that jewelry. And I actually prefer that holistic element of styling. And I also saw that helps them be confident. Yeah. So I liked that I was helping people with their confidence. Yeah. And then that led to different celebrities, more celebrities to red carpet, to me doing TV stuff. And the rest is history, and here I am.
That's so
in
amazing.
This gorgeous office with all these diamonds.
Yeah, I know, we're pretty lucky. It's a pretty nice place to be.
It is, it's gorgeous.
And have you ended up working alongside any of those celebrity clients for their weddings?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Erin Holland, also a friend of the brand.
Stunning bride, stunning wedding.
Stunning bride, stunning wedding. That was gorgeous. So it's so lovely when you work with a client for a few years and then you get to their wedding moment. It's really special to be part of that day and seeing their fashion evolution, especially with Erin over those years. Seeing her go from just a pageant girl to being and
that's a whole different set of rules that she would have probably been set in, and then you would have had to teach her different ways.
Yeah. So it's really special to be part of a wedding after years of dressing someone.
How many weddings do you think you've been part of?
Oh, wow. I would say at least, 200 to 300 over the years.
Wow.
Yeah, whether that's just a whole bridal party, a mother of the bride. I mean, just literally in the last 8 months was my biggest wedding party to date. It was my first same-sex marriage couple, and they only had a small bridal party of 18. And
that sounds expensive to dress that many people.
And I'm ready for any challenge, and they were like, okay, but we want our bridesmaids to be olive green.
Okay.
Which isn't the most, but I'll show you photos later.
You need to show us some photos.
And I actually found one dress that suited all the girls perfectly. Even I was impressed. Even I was like, did I just do that?
Yeah.
So that was amazing. So that was a huge bridal party.
So 9
there was about,
dresses, or how was the 18 split?
I think there was 7 girls, 7 boys, and some littlies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
So and the grooms, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a massive production. I was there all day on site, getting them ready, steaming the outfits in the morning, going to both houses, steaming outfits.
And you do that as a stylist, you're there. It's not just you're going to wear this, off you go.
If I'm putting
you're
my
there.
name to something, I want to make sure every element is perfect. No creases. Everything's got to be perfect. So I'll go to the houses in the morning, steam, prep everything, make sure the ties are done, the bow ties are done, the belts are there, the shoes are laced properly. I'm very meticulous with all those little details.
Yeah.
On the day, I was at the wedding with my lint roller and my sweat patches and everything just on guard, ready.
Making sure it's all perfect.
Making sure every photo was perfect. And it's really funny because when I go... all the weddings I've styled too. I know usually the bridesmaids are in charge of, holding the veil and all that, but you'll always see Donny there holding the veil and holding her flowers and whatever I can do to help on the day. I just love being part of it.
Oh, that speaks volumes of your beautiful nature, Donny.
Thank you.
What about as a guest, do you feel like couples now are more so including a dress code on their invitation? They have a vision for how their day... I know you mentioned one with the... That's probably quite extreme.
That was extreme.
Which is fine. That's what they wanted. Yeah. But do you feel like you're seeing more and more wedding invites where there is a request of a certain dress style?
Definitely. I think, again, we talk about that 10-year difference. If you look at wedding 10 years ago, it was very loose. It was just... There probably wasn't a dress code. You would just know you'd be dressed up and look gorgeous.
Yeah.
These days, I think bride and grooms, or bride and brides, or grooms and grooms, have much more of a vision of what they want the day to look like. Right down from the setting to the backgrounds to the flower arches to what the guests are going to be wearing.
Yeah, how the guests look against that.
How the guests are going to look. So I think you get a lot more information these days from the bride and groom to what you're going to wear. And
I actually like it.
Yeah,
I actually like getting an invite and it says black tie or cocktail or whatever term they're using, because you just know you're going to be dressed appropriately.
Absolutely. So I think it's very, very useful. There's much information you can give your guests. I think it is fantastic.
And do you have a go-to? If I got an invitation to go to a wedding and it wasn't black tie, but I had to dress, well, I don't know, do you say formal, or is formal and black tie the same?
Well, there's so many dress codes, right? So I think these days it generally is formal or cocktail. But, it might be black tie. Yeah. So there's, slightly different elements between each of the dress codes.
Do you have your go-tos? Where should I go find a dress to be a wedding guest?
Oh, good question. I
know where I'm getting my jewellery.
There's actually, exactly. We all know that. But a little insider tip. There's a brand called Duchess Boutique. They're Melbourne-based. Okay. But their collection of gowns is astounding. Oh, this is big scoop for you guys. But check them out. They're in Melbourne. They actually ship all their dresses to Sydney as well. So if you live wherever you are in Australia, they'll ship to you. But if you ever get to Melbourne, check them out. And I've used them for celebrities, red carpet, styling, bridesmaids. The wedding party I sold, that olive green.
Yeah, you found it there. Oh, okay.
Like their stuff is just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I can't recommend them highly enough. So any brides out there or grooms thinking, where am I going to find some dresses? Duchess Boutique in Melbourne.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
There you go.
And what about accessories? How important are accessories for pulling an outfit together or changing the look of an outfit?
It's just like the frosting on a cake, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Jewelry and jewels and diamonds. It really is just, you go to a bakery and you see a plain old sponge cake and you see a cake with icing and sprinkles. You want the icing and sprinkles, right?
Yeah,
it's just that extra little something.
Yeah.
And I think that's what day to day elevates our looks. And I think because we live in such a time poor society, it's all about go, get out the door in the morning. We don't often accessorize, but you always notice people that have nice accessories. There's little details. And same as when it comes to weddings and special occasions, when you've got that nice earring, that necklace, that bracelet, a shoe, a nice bag, it elevates your look and separates you just from being nice to amazing.
Yeah.
So spending that time to choose the right jewelry is so important. It really just changes your look, and it's amazing. And let's talk about the transformative power of when you wear good jewels and diamonds as well. I think there's something like, this is one of my favorite rings. And every time I put it on, I literally just feel special. Yeah. And that's why I don't wear it all the time. I just wear it on when I want to have that extra little something.
Sure.
My little Louboutins on today. Again, don't wear them all the time, but when I do, I just feel that little bit special. And I'm not one... my general ethos with fashion is you don't have to spend a lot on clothes. Yeah. I really believe that you can just buy good, affordable clothes from the high street here in Sydney or Pitt Street, wherever you want to shop from. Yep. But then spending a little bit more on those little punctuation marks, like your jewelry, your nice bag, a shoe, because they're the things that just make you feel extra special when you put them on.
Yes, and they can also be worn with multiple different outfits.
Absolutely. The cost per wear is fantastic.
Yeah. We're definitely recycling fashion and accessories in 2024. We're not worried about re-wearing.
Yeah.
So obviously we're always seeing new trends emerging, new styles, fashions and so on. How do you keep up to date with that in the world of bridal and weddings? Is it important or should we stick with classic? What do you think?
Good question. For a little bit of hashtag inspo, I feel social media is usually where I get a lot of it these days. When it comes to wedding in particular, I feel celebrity weddings have a huge impact on bridal trends. Yeah. So Sophia Richie got married and we saw huge trends right from her ring to the Chanel dresses to everything that she wore, and then people wanted something similar. Yeah. There was a royal wedding this weekend past. She wore these blue heels with a bow at the front. There was a huge spike for this brand right after that wedding. So I think we really look at celebrity trends and celebrity weddings and like get inspired by that. Kate Middleton, I'll never forget, that dress came out. Yeah. Everyone suddenly wanted the sleeve, the lace, the lace veils, and we're still seeing that today.
Yes.
So I think celebrity weddings are definitely a huge impact. But then also, weddings have become so much more fashion focused. So just seeing what's happening on the runways regularly, what celebrities are wearing at like the Cannes Film Festival, at the Met Gala, like all these big red carpets we see trends develop, and then brides kind of want something similar as well. So for me, every day when I'm scrolling, it's technically research. So if I get trouble at home, why are you on your phone? I'm like, I'm working. I'm looking for inspo. Okay, leave me alone. But I have a Pinterest page, and I'm constantly pinning everything, right from hair trends, makeup trends, shoe trends, bow ties, whatever it is. So when I'm with a client, when I sit down for my consult with the people getting married, I'll be like, right, let's talk about this. And I can show them references straight on my phone saying, oh, what do you think of that? What do you think of that? So Pinterest and all the Instagram, TikTok, all those channels all help me get my inspo from.
Definitely makes sense. Take us back to what you were just talking about. When you are working with a couple for their wedding, does it start with a consultation? Like, what's the process?
Yeah, so you usually get contacted by the couple getting married, sit down, have a coffee, just like we're doing now, have a chat. First thing we discuss is obviously timings, dates, just to get an idea of what's going to be possible. Yep. Budgets is always a common question because I want to understand, look, if your budget for the whole bridal party is $2,000, it's going to go to those particular shops. If your particular brand is budget is that much, it's going to lead us to those brands. So budget up front is very important to know where we're going to go. Then we kind of divide and conquer. So then I go to the bride, say, right, what are we doing? What's your vision? What do you want? So we break down, her budget. What is she vibing? 1 dress, 2 dresses, 3 dresses, 4 dresses. Then we start talking about brands or designers. If we're going down the custom road, we'll speak about what designers or brands we can work with. I've got obviously relationships. I've obviously got relationships with a lot of brands.
Yeah.
So I'll say go through my list and say who do you want to work with, or they might have some ideas.
Yep.
Then we'll chat. We'll go have coffee with all the designers too, just because it's like speed dating. You want to work with a brand that you like.
Yes.
So
you want to cut out the hard work for them, I guess. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a bit of a filter. So I'm their initial kind of point of contact, and I'll kind of filter where we might want to go. Then ask where they want to go, and then we kind of find this nice happy medium.
Yes.
And then we kind of start that process. So if she wants a gown made, then that's couple of months of work by the time we go through the first, second, third, fourth, fifth fitting.
Are you there for the fittings? Like, will you attend those with them?
Definitely. So important to be at all of those, because again, sometimes I've got to play the bad cop. I'm that guy going, no, the designer wants to do this. It can be hard
to say, I think, for some of us in those situations. Exactly. So if you're doing it on our behalf. Exactly,
I know. Exactly. I've got to speak for the bride, because often they're just like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. And I'm like, no, I know she doesn't want that. So I've got to say, no, we don't want that fabric, or we don't want that neckline. So I've got to, and that really comes down to me understanding my bride and what she needs as well. Because if I know she is a little bit self-conscious about her tummy area, and then the designer wants to just do a plain satin gown with nothing there, I know she's not going to...
What's not meant?
Exactly, you know what I mean? It's like alarm bells, red light, no. So I need to understand what's going to make my bride feel absolutely gorgeous and confident. So then when we're speaking to the designer, if the designer starts bringing up anything that I know my bride's not going to love, straight away I'm just going to say, no way.
We're not wasting time on that.
So, So once we've got the bride locked in, then we have to chat bridesmaids, right? What are we going to do? Then we start the bridesmaid process.
And it's got to work, right? With the vibe of the bride.
It's almost like everything kind of rotates around the bride. Get the bride locked in, then the bridesmaids, then I go start on the groom, then I start on the groomsmen. Then I go work on the mother of the bride and the mother of the groom. So there's a bit of a flow chart, but it generally starts with the bride. And then obviously start with the groom and chat to him, see what he's vibing. If he wants something custom made, there's a lot of great suppliers that do custom made suits now. I've literally had a fitting for a groom last Sunday at In Situ.
Oh yes.
And
I've had a few clients say that they're going through there for their suits.
Yeah, that was a really good process. And then we start with the groomsmen. So definitely, so the key message there was, start with the bride and groom, have a good chat. Budgets, understand what they're going to feel amazing in. And that's what it all comes down to every single time, is what are they going to feel amazing in. The number of brides who sometimes deal with designers, and designers make them feel bad for not being a certain body shape or a certain size. Don't work with them. If they're going to make you feel like you've got to lose weight
to wear,
oh my god, that's for me, that's a red flag. If a certain, I have heard of cases where some brands have said like, oh, maybe if you just lose a size or two. Like, no one should be losing a size or two for you. You should be getting married exactly how you are, and feeling gorgeous how you are. Oh. That was a long answer.
No, that's fine. That's great. That's perfect. I like that. So weddings happen year round, especially in Australia. I feel like we're pretty lucky. Even our winters, well, here in Sydney at least, are not terrible, but I'm assuming you have to take weather into account and how that's going to affect the look. Have you styled weddings in summer versus winter and found it plays a big role?
Definitely. So you always got to take seasons into account. Obviously summer, you can pretty much get away with everything. Guys, I would obviously go lighter suit constructions. So maybe like, as much as I hate linen because it creases, it is cooler. So I usually will have my steamer on standby at that particular wedding and steam his suit in between ceremony and photos. Or just go a lighter kind of suit. If it's a cooler month, like a winter wedding, obviously I'd be giving him like wool-based suits, so he's going to have a little bit more warmth. For her, probably go a sleeve, give it a bit more arm coverage. I have had a bride, I've got her, she had this kind of a strapless dress, but we made her a white tuxedo jacket to go over it. It was like a tuxedo cape. And that was just literally to have over her in between getting in and out of the car and church and whatnot. And that was so chic and so beautiful. But you can definitely find little solutions like that. Obviously, other brides have had little like pashminas or little fur stalls as well that give you a bit of coverage. So definitely thinking about seasonality and how you can have little tweaks to your outfit to keep you warmer or keep you cooler. I did have a bride who I styled in Ireland. And Ireland, I think it was probably about 3 degrees.
Yep, and probably rainy.
And and it was a bit rainy.
Yeah.
And so basically I remember we had this gorgeous gown made for her, but then this beautiful faux fur stole that she kind of wore to the church.
Yeah.
And that was actually a really fun wedding. I love styling that one.
Have you done lots of overseas weddings?
I've done a few, yeah. So that island one comes to mind. I've done a Positano one.
Not in winter in Positano, I'm hoping. Beautiful summer.
That was summer, yeah. Thank God for that. And some like domestic around Australia as well, like Queensland, interstate, Melbourne, etc.
Yeah. How did the Positano wedding go, fabrics-wise and bridesmaids?
That was beautiful. She just had this beautiful, ethereal, almost like a Grecian goddess gown, lots of pleating, ruching, floaty.
Okay, perfect.
It was gorgeous. And I remember a shot where she was getting off a boat and this wind gust just picked up her dress and it just floated up like magically, and it was just like, that's a $1 million shot right there. It was just gorgeous. And it was like a small wedding, it was about 30 people.
Yep.
They just both looked gorgeous.
Yeah. That would have been so beautiful to be part of.
Yeah, that was special.
Thank you so much for being here, Donny. It was a pleasure chatting.
Thank you for having me.
It's always so fun having you here. I'll have to get you back on.
Please, I would love that.
We'll have to think of a few different things to talk about next time. Maybe flower girls.
I can do that.
They're adorable.
But for now, arrivederci.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Facets of Affinity. We hope you'll join us in our future episodes where we delve deeper into all things love, engagement, and weddings, sprinkled with a generous dose of sparkle.